44277. See clearly. I'm gonna use this here actually. What is it overnight high at? It's gone. That's good. Just setting up the levels. $44.29. Put that there. Actually, I can copy this one. Right? Not actually the overnight low, I'm just setting it there because this is more the overnight low there. It's a redundant level. It's sort of flat. Let's see what this looks like. The last 3 days the value area has been basically exactly the same, so could be looking to stay flat still again today. I'll show you that. All three value areas just sitting together. Oh, didn't take my alpha brain. Secret sauce. Fonnet wants to sponsor videos. Alright. Kind of fucked up yesterday and re-downloaded Windows, so a lot of my stuff is not the same anymore, so bear with me. Didn't really help. It helped a little bit with the monitor, but not 100%. The high is there, previous day close. Went away again. There we go. 1500, 15128. Overnight low was there. Oh, let's see. Previous day high. Overnight high. Overnight low. Previous day low was around 840. I'm gonna put an exact dollar on that. That should be fine. Kind of looking into today's zone, it's been just consolidated since about 2 o'clock in the morning. I have a appointment with my ankle surgeon today at 10:50, so hopefully I'll catch a move like yesterday, one and done around 10 minutes in, and then we can all move on with our days. If not, I'll be on for about an hour. I'm going to be analyzing on that chart, and I'm going to be taking my trades mainly on the Top Step platform, just because I can't see this all the time. Like I said, once things settle down, I'm probably going to invest in a whole new trading PC. I'm doing all this on a streaming off of a laptop and trying to trade. It's probably eating too much of my computer's power. Market opens in about 5 minutes. 6 minutes 20 seconds to be exact. Anything anybody's looking at, let me know. A little light in here. Yeah, I thought reinstalling Windows and kind of factory resetting my computer would help this issue, because I checked the monitor on another computer and it does work. So it's really the laptop that's causing the problem, I think. Just waiting for that open. I really don't see anything special going on pre-market. It's been flat all night. Still kind of hanging around this little value zone that I got here. So maybe if we come back to it and test it or shoot up to all-time highs, we could start to look for something. And then I've been looking at the NASDAQ as far as I took one yesterday on the open as a divergence play with the S&P. So if we do get something like that again today, I could possibly pull that off. Yeah, that previous day close, if we could get that to reject, that'd be good. Pull down to it, reject it. If it breaks through it, I mean, you do have those inventories from the overnight low. That's a decent move, especially on the NASDAQ. Like I said, yesterday I caught, I took this whole red candle here, and that was that. That's all I did. It was easy, quick trade. But we'll see what happens on the open. My VWAP is gone. That's not good. See, I knew things were missing. Now I can't see anymore. Okay, whenever my screen comes back, I'll pop that VWAP on here. There we go. I do have to change it because I don't like when it has all the bands. I like to just have the one single VWAP. If I could pull this up, maybe I could see it on the stream screen. Here we go. Just to edit it, I double click it. Nope, that's the wrong one. So I can't see it great. I highlight it. There we go. Double click it, and then I get rid of the upper band. Apply. Lower band. Apply. I mean, people like it, but I don't need it. I just like to have the single VWAP here. Those ones are just standard deviations off. So looks like it wants to break up pre-market, so we'll see what happens on the open. Maybe it'll kind of clear that out and pull back down. I don't have my squeeze indicator on here either. I'll clean this all up when I get a chance. Definitely shouldn't have done that yesterday, but took the chance. Shit happens. Getting a little bit of volume coming in now, pre-market a bit, just a touch. All right, so we got our VWAP back on. That's nice. I will try and throw my TTM squeeze on here as well if I could get it quick. I just kind of like it to show me trend continuations and a little bit of reversal stuff, but it's not super necessary right this second. Let's see, where are we gonna open at? We're gonna open at 29, 30, 29. Yesterday's close was 26, 26, 26, 25. So a slight gap, but you know, maybe look to close it because it's so small, and then proceed back up. We'll see what happens. Because then we'll get these charts here. And there's your open. So it's still pushing up. Now it's pulling back a bit. There we go. There's your pullback to almost to that close. There we go. See what happens. I can't trade on this first 5-minute candle. That's my rule. So we're gonna see where it pulls us to. Yesterday that worked out pretty well. We looked to we saw that the S&P was ripping down and the NASDAQ was kind of just lingering to the upside. I started to see a little rejection on that candle, so I kind of played that one off that divergence. Today they seem to be pretty coherent with each other. Gonna just keep an eye on both. I'm gonna leave this open like this. If you got anything you see, let me know. But I will let you know what I take if I do take it. Breaking above. So see, this is like a divergence a bit. The NASDAQ is pushing up above their little overnight high that I had here, and the S&P is pulling back still. So we're going to see which one is thinking that it's right. I'm going to close this. Just don't really care, but I prefer my account numbers to be gone. Let's see. Looks like, I mean, there's so much inventory in here that I don't see why it wouldn't just pull into at least that 26, 20, 25. It doesn't want to work. I mean, we're at these highs. Pulling back to the VWAP. The VWAP and the previous day close are basically the same on that NASDAQ. We've cleaned out that on the S&P. Still haven't done it yet quite on the NASDAQ. That NASDAQ pullback to that VWAP is beautiful. Perfect little target. A lot of people take that on the open. They go right on the open. They just look every day to just close the gap from the day before as far as going to the previous day close, especially if it's this tight. I mean, that could be a good strategy where it's not that far off. You know, I just personally don't like to do it. It's not my strategy, but I do know people do it, and it seems to be pretty consistent over the last, I don't know, few days or so. Everything's up at the moment though, percent wise. Small, little bit. Oil's up 1.5%, which is not small, but everything else, all the, you know, equities, S&P's up less than half of a percent. It's really flat on the open. There we go. It's breaking down hard. If it holds below the VWAP on the NASDAQ, then potentially I'm going to look to take that S&P here to follow it down at least to that overnight low and then beyond, because I think they're going to be pretty closely correlated today. So yeah, look to see, because the NASDAQ moves a little quicker than I would like, because I need this candle to close before I can enter. So if I could get that, if the NASDAQ candle holds and closes below, I don't know, my computer is so stupid right now, it's annoying the shit out of me. The ES is going to follow quick, huh? So if this closes here below that, let's call it 15,130-ish level, 128. See, it's sort of rejecting like we were talking about earlier. So it's not quite holding, so I don't necessarily believe that ES is going to have to follow it. And so now we don't really have an entry on it. Right, it didn't close below, it rejected. So I kind of want to see some push down here that's going to convince me. I'm looking at my top step here. It is holding right around that close. S&Ps are rejecting a bit. Targets to the downside would be, let's see here, I can't see my screen, so this big gray box is a huge resistance level for that S&P. I know it doesn't look like it overnight, but it is for sure. Price likes to stay in this level. You can see it's just kind of sitting here. It's not really moving. You can see how tight the overnight high and low I have here. It's really obviously not correct. The overnight low was down over here by the previous day low. I just tightened it up because I feel like this point is a solid level of resistance, and if I put them both down here, it's a useless level. So I utilize some of these levels interchangeably. So sometimes you'll see them not exactly where an overnight low would be. Just that's so you're aware of what I'm actually looking at here. It is holding, and the NASDAQ is trying to just hold down there. And this is pulling. I gotta see which one's gonna really be the winner here. I don't see anything that's gonna tell me that things are wanting to pick a direction. Let's see what that value zone looks like. Value zones. Here we are. So we're above value still. Still trying to peek back in. This bigger point of control, right? That 44.25 is right in the middle of that level that that big gray box that I drew out. Right over here, right? Well, a little bit above it, but that's basically that. I consider this value. Price wants to go there. We'll see what happens with it. Yeah, my computer does not like doing all this stuff at the same time. I need to invest in me a streaming computer here. That'd be nice. Make everything smoother, set everything up a little bit better. Yeah, let's see what this looks like. Still not a ton of movement, right? It's just kind of sitting there. This is why I don't just jump into things right off the bat, personally. Take this. This is interesting. 44, 27, 48. All right. Wouldn't have hated taking that NASDAQ trade off the open, but I can't bring myself to do it. It's better to not break your rules. It takes to be. Nothing. I can't hate seeing a pullback to the VWAP in the NASDAQ and maybe taking it down to those lows, overnight lows, clearing out that inventory. The thing about it is the technology sector is not terrible. So stuff is not convincing me here. This is like a big value. Look at this chop yesterday, right? All that chop. It's hard to trade that, right? I did catch an open, a move on the open, but how else are you gonna look for a setup in there? This overnight session was a bit smoother, so maybe if we get a pullback to that previous day close, reject it a bit, possibly can get that short down. But like I said, like all this chop leads me to believe that something similar is going to happen today. You don't really want to just jump in. Rejecting this resistance level right there down to the, yeah, there's nothing that I'm going to look to really think is important there. Like, it's just yesterday's chop doesn't enthuse me too much, especially since today is a shortened day for me. Like I said, I wanted to try and get into something sort of early. Just don't see an opportunity yet. The last few days has been just choppy and sideways, so this is really difficult for anybody to try and pick up consistent opportunities in. Yes, people can make money in this, and maybe it's a scalper's dream, I don't know. But for me, I don't necessarily scalp. I hold positions, a few minutes if possible. It would be nice to just get in and out in a few seconds, but it's just not my game here. So, I mean, lots of this is just straight range bound, but it's not like an easy range bound. Maybe I can clean it up a little with a 30-minute chart. A lot of chop on that. Let's see what I can see. It's a little bit better on the 30, but it's still, look at those wicks. Everything's really been between that previous day low and that previous day high. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I love it. Love it. If we get up to that previous day high, maybe you could look to fade that move if you do get a rejection candle. That looks stronger, right? A little bit on that 30-minute. Pull back to the VWAP, rejected the overnight low, push back up. Right? If you're trading at 5 a.m., you know, maybe it looks good, but I mean, when you get down a little bit, you're getting whipped around a lot for a long time. Like that looks gross. Let's see what that NASDAQ looks like. It does look like it's slightly rejecting that. But like I said, if you see this, all this inventory down here, I would think it wants to clear some of it out, potentially, but it doesn't have to do anything it doesn't want to do. It could just make no sense and run up. So we'll see what happens a little bit here. Like both of these are pushing up a bit. I'm not looking to fade it yet. Let me try and set these and a study. Like I said, I messed up my stuff yesterday. I ended up resetting Windows, so that didn't really help out. And this didn't really do anything good. There we go. Resetting Windows does not help with your settings on Thinkorswim. So yeah, if I was looking for that rejection, did not get it, did not hold below that close. This is rejecting that high though. Just didn't quite get there. Yeah, I don't see anything clean right now. Maybe the NASDAQ short off this base, you know, off this here. But it's got to close down below 140 for me, really. Maybe even push up to the previous day high. Catch some of that. Push down. Because you can see that S&P is pushing down a little bit right now. My computer's a bit slow today. Now it's ripping up, see? There are opportunities here, but for me, nothing clear. You got that squeeze indicator down there that's showing a little bit of a downside moment. This was a strong downside, then that's slowing down. Once it pops back to being blue, that means to me that the upside is coming back. But it's still just a back and forth kind of day on the open, right? We opened here, now we're back to where we opened. We did clear out that previous day close, so now we have to figure out which direction it wants to take us for the day. And I'm thinking that rejection off that previous day high is a good play. Need to target for it to the downside. If it closes this candle here, maybe look for like a doji, and then it'll close below 140. Then I could maybe take it short. Back down to at least that overday, the previous day close. Maybe clear out that overnight inventory to the downside. If not, it could just rip up. It's just that S&P is pushing and rejecting that overnight high and just kind of, it's not moving a lot, you know? Not smooth, at least. It's just kind of tick by tick here. If I don't find a trade before I get off, I'm not really too worried about it, to be honest. I am going to the surgeon for my ankle, so I don't want to just force something in just to force it in, just to get a trade. but I figured I'd get on the live stream and at least show you what I'm looking at for the day. If I were to catch something, it would be nice. If you're watching this on the record, check out the other videos. If you're watching it live, check out the other videos. Hopefully I'll be posting a few more come this week. This is not... So here's what, I look at, if we want to get into it a little bit, since I'm not really seeing a ton of stuff here. This is still, the squeeze indicator down here is still blue. And I feel like that shows me a little bit more momentum, still kind of pressing to the upside. It's slightly diverged here because this is getting bluer and this is rejecting that top. So kind of tells me a bit that it doesn't want to turn over quite yet. Let's see if I can pull up that OBS so I can see what I'm looking at. Yeah. So volume has been decreasing obviously since the open. It's always higher at the open. We've pushed up to that previous day high, didn't quite get there, but I think with this squeeze indicator showing that some of that momentum's still there, we could possibly at least catch up all the way to that high before we start to look to roll over. Once that starts to turn that darker blue, that's when you get the more of a downside move when you're pushing up. And then obviously the opposite, the darker red means there's more momentum going down, and that yellow means it's starting to slow down and possibly looking to reverse or not. But like I said here, I still have that light blue. This is on the 5 minute. If I went to the 30 minute, it's still going to be probably a big green candle, bigger green candle. And yeah, so you still have a green candle. You still have that big blue momentum. It possibly is going to start to turn a darker blue, but look, it's not showing that. So to me, this still has a little bit of upside before it wants to roll over. And that's how I use that light blue indicator, that squeeze indicator on the bottom, because some people use it I use it in a few different ways, but at least for futures, that's how I use it. It's really more of a, I'm going to watch the momentum. So I think this probably will push up still to the high, and then we'll see what happens, what it does at that level. Once we get there, look at it on Top Step. So NASDAQ is following also. Kramer, if you looked and caught that off that close, that was a good move. It just didn't stay at that level enough for me to look to see it reverse, but that was a nice play if you played it. Yeah, I figured. It just didn't look, it was such a strong push down that to play a reversal on that, that was tough, because it didn't really, it was closing below there. So I see. Yeah, I think this is going to push up at least to the high. Now that the NASDAQ has pushed back up to that overnight high again, we are technically in a double top-ish at the moment. If it doesn't close above here, we can possibly look to fade that, but there's no indication of some strength there. I'm going to watch the S&P at 44.32, 44.31.75 technically, and then I'm going to look to see what the NASDAQ's doing at the same level. Yeah, I think it is trying. It's just hard with the way everything's been so choppy the last 2 days to see what we got going on, we showed a reversal candle on this volume chart here. I don't necessarily know if this could be just because it pulled down here that the reversal happened here and it's going to push higher. So I'm going to be patient on that. A lot of times this doesn't show exactly what's going on. This might be, usually it's at the bottom or a top of a range or pretty close. So if this fills in and we push up, that means we're looking for an explosive move up. If it fills in and start to roll over, maybe look for a further downside. So I kind of use all these inputs as indications of what I possibly am going to do moving forward, but we're still looking like it maybe needs to clear out some of that inventory above again, these ones. If it clears these out one more time, maybe short. That's possibly where we're going to look. It hasn't quite cleared them all out yet. So that's what I'm saying there. That 44.32 level, if it clears those out, that's when you possibly could either see that short, because it doesn't really like to leave those ones, right? When I'm talking about ones, let me see if I can pull that up again. Right over here in this, ones and twos, it's just like not a lot of orders. It'll usually kind of try and clear those out before sort of rolling over. And we have those ones and twos down here. That's the overnight high, low down here. So it's actually at 44.25. So that's the point of control. So we'll see. Need to see it at 44.32. We're sort of close to that level. If it breaks 32, it's got upside, and I don't know if I will take it because I don't know how much further it's got. And the NASDAQ is rejecting it. If I could pull the same thing up here, that NASDAQ looks primed to short. It's approaching that 40 level. Break down below that 40 and a hold like that. Could look to get it short, but it's still in that little tight range. It needs to break out. I think really my goal here is on the NASDAQ to break that overnight, that previous day close, and then I could take that short down to the overnight low. That would be my play here on the downside. Because it's still stuck in this little tight range, it needs to break out and show me that it's going to hold before I want to take that in any specific direction. The S&P has nice. Yeah. Take that short. There we go. It's just in that stupid range. I want to see this reject that 41.35, 31.75. Because if it doesn't, if it holds above that 32 right now, I mean, it's going to clear to that all-time high. And then what? Where's the NASDAQ going to go if that's pushing through all-time highs? Back to its all-time high. So to the upside, if I break that 150.75 and hold, I could take it to that 72 on the NASDAQ. Like this risk to reward for me isn't enough for me to take that trade, because now we're at that, almost at the all-time high. Probably going to hit it right now, and then it needs to either break or reject. If it does, I still have that strong momentum to the upside. So I don't have faith that it's going to roll over. I may take the NASDAQ to rub. And Q, yeah, I'm going to take a buy on the NASDAQ right here, I think. Nope, I missed it. I would have taken the buy at 40. Maybe if it pulls back, I'll put a buy order in there. At 40. It's already too high. Missed that opportunity on the NASDAQ. That's just that divergence that I like to do, and that would have been a solid move there for already. Went just from the base of that range, 1535 straight up to 1550. 15150. Yeah, should have pulled the trigger on that. Missed it. It's all right. So like I said, with this chart here, you got this rejection candle. That was more of that pulling back here, and now we're going to be off to the races. And this thing usually just indicates a bit more volume and buy orders at certain locations. Nice, Kramer. Yeah, I saw that downside move coming prior to this, but I also figured that this green candle was also about to come. It's just, will it break above this level? That overnight high, if it does, I need it to hold above 150. Then I can possibly look for that entry up again, so NASDAQ can run up to that high. Let's see what active trader looks like. CBS still just putzing around. Down on that. Up on ISWH. Down today. All right. Okay. There it is. So maybe I'll take that trade at 149. Up to the all-time high. Yeah.
Order filled.
I took it. Let's see what happens with it. Playing that is probably going to reject, and I'm going to have to get out, but I'm looking for the NASDAQ to trail a bit and hopefully run up above that to the all-time high to a point. I would have liked to have gotten in at 140. That would have been a beautiful push up. Now I'm entering at the resistance. Not a huge fan of that move. Actually, I'd like it to be down here a bit. I don't want to get stopped out for no reason. Alrighty. I need that NASDAQ to break above that 150 and hold. And there we are. And hopefully I could run it up to 15172. That would be my trade for the day. I'm taking it slow on this funded account for now. Just want to ease my way into building some profits. Yeah, I'm going to leave that up. So 15172, that all-time high is a target, especially with that S&P already having broken its all-time high, and our fib extension target still way up there at 44.57. So it does have a bit of that upside if markets like to think about it. Since I am playing this NASDAQ on my Top Step account, I'll show you so you believe me. There it is. I entered here at 150, and I'm looking to catch it up to that. I don't have it on that screen because I can't see that screen all the time, and I don't want to miss out on anything. So if I can catch that up to that 172, that'd be beautiful. I would be a happy camper on that. Take the money and run. It does seem like it wants to reject a bit. It's got those orders up there. What I'm going to try and do is flip this flexible grid up to the NQ. All right, there we go. Now we can see it a bit better. Yeah, if I could pull this up into that range there, I've been very happy. It's really this point of control of 62 is that first target. So 62 would be a nice spot where it's possibly going to reject. So I'll probably be at break even at when I hit the 62 level. And then if it could bust above 62, 72 is an easy target. This on the right is still the ES, but I pulled up the NASDAQ just so I could see some of the value areas from the previous days. Oh man, I'm mad that I didn't get in on that that 40 because I was pretty convinced that it was going to flip up there. Pushing down a little. Give this a little bit of room to breathe. For now, I don't think it's going to reject totally. I need to move these stops to break even soon if I can get it above there. Let's see if this will show me any prints on the NASDAQ. Could have been a false breakout. We will see. Catch me in there. trap me on a long. If it is, it's fine. Whatever. It is what it is. It fooled me. I don't believe that's true, though. Just based on that S&P, I feel slightly confident in my idea there. I had that trade. If I would have just clicked the buy button, just didn't have the focus, I guess. I did back into value on the previous, this one. These did clear out some of that inventory, so we'll see. Maybe it's going to reject here. This is where I would have liked to have entered before. Maybe I'll take an entry here. Second contract, average down a bit, but not really looking to do that. If I'm going to take a loss, I'm going to take a loss. I'm not really worried about it. I want that there. The VWAP, there it goes, pushing down. It's going to stop me out probably. Push right back down. I am thinking if it breaks above 140 again before stopping me out, which doesn't look like it. Looks like it's going to stop me out here, probably. It's thinking about rejecting. You know what? I'm going to pull that stop a little bit, and if it holds above 140, I'm going to enter a second long because I think that that's an opportunity there. Not quite wrong yet. It's not gonna. It's probably. It looks like this was a trap. Dude, do not. Should have just looked to take that entry in the first go around. Now it's holding below the VWAP there, so we're just going to get it stopped out, and we're going to move on to the next trade.
Stop filled.
There we go. Alrighty. Now we just wait and be patient. I got like 30 more minutes on here. Took our first L today. Down 430. Not a problem. Probably use that stop exactly where it's going to turn around on me, so probably should have took the trade that I was looking at over here with the first rejection on that to go along. It's just back and forth, so yeah, no worries. I have a 3-strike rule, and I'm out. I don't like to get chopped around, so I'm going to get back into here. By 9:30, I will be done today no matter what because of that surgeon's appointment for the ankle. We are looking to reject the VWAP. Like I said, if we do get above 30, I'm going to put a buy order above 30, 40. Because I did think if it does get above 40, we will probably push back to the upside again. If it breaks down below 30, really 28, and holds, then we have downside to 15.092. I just don't see that happening.
Order filled.
Well, now I'm in 2 longs. That was dumb. Gotta close out one of those. I tried to set a buy stop. Did not work. Could be a happy accident. We'll see what happens. S&P is pushing up again. Nasdaq's rejecting that previous day low, taking that one more shot at it. Not happening. I'm gonna close this soon. Do not double click. It's not a good idea. That's the problem sometimes. Yep. We're going to get stopped again here. I don't think that's the case. Patiently waiting. This divergence is big time. Kind of solid upside on the S&P, and Nasdaq is falling over. Nasdaq flat on the day. Back to zero. I am going to look to get out of this in a second. Bum, 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 bum. I didn't mean to put on two positions, so I'm just going to manage it properly and then see what happens from here. Give myself back green for the day would be nice, and then work on that. Could get a nice rip to the upside in a second. It's just going to reject that VWAP. Piss poor. It was a solid short right there. But hopefully we can... I mean, this S&P is ripping, so probably should have been playing that. But I've been feeling the NASDAQ the last few days, so I've been sticking with it. If it can break above where I entered at 36... Sorry, coughing in your ear. If we can break above 36... Hopefully we can push back up above 40 and back up to 50. Just doesn't want to hold it. Just keeps rejecting it. It seems like it's going to be like how it was yesterday with all that up and down chop. But hopefully there's enough room in this upside to at least get me to break even in a little bit of profit, and we'll see what happens from there. That 36 level is a big resistance, so. Music stuck in my head. Oh, there we go. In and out, scalping up 215, had boy. Good shit. I'll take it. I'm more of a being patient right now with mine. I'm hoping this NASDAQ can not reject that level like it keeps doing. If it could break through that wall, I think we have a pretty nice upside for it. I'm going to keep my bias to the upside for the moment. Like I said, if I'm down today, it's not a big deal. I'm just trying to be done by 9:30 because I do have to leave to head up to Houston. Trying again and trying again and trying again. S&P still ripping to the upside. That was my guy. Should have been taking him at 44.30. But, you know, to each their own. Still looking for this rejection. Still don't think that it just doesn't want to pick a direction. I think it just has to the downside. Strong downside momentum there. If it busts through that 20, then we're going down to overnight low. That could be it. Above that previous day close. Come on. This divergence is big time. It's still showing that everything is up on the day, which I don't believe. There it is. NASDAQ is the first thing to drop into the negative territory. Everything else is still up. Russell's still up a little bit. S&P is up. Dow Jones is up 163 points, 164 points. So, like I said, all those things being up today leads me to believe that this NASDAQ is also going to be up today. It's just doesn't have to. That's the thing. It just doesn't have to. It needs to keep pushing up. Yeah. It wants to break through. It just hasn't. Like the way that NASDAQ, the S&P is pushing so high, it needs to, I don't know, my shoulder. Slept on it wrong. We need to stop rejecting this VWAP. Dude still wants to push down. Just get some breathing around here. Previous day close. It's at the bottom of the value area, which is 121. For the day, for the market hours, but this is not quite exact, so it might be waiting for the S&P to roll back over a bit. Point of control is up there at 40, so if we could push above 40, we could break through that point of control, hopefully, but it looks like it just wants to keep pushing down. Next push up, I might roll with it up, just take my loss. Still down, NASDAQ down, the only one down, only thing negative today. Could it be the leader? That's the thing, you know. Everything else, you know, S&P's up 10, Dow Jones up 150 now, so these things are pushing up higher while the NASDAQ's pushing lower. Tech sectors didn't seem to be too red, but I didn't check again. Everything seems greenish, you know. Nah, it's just gonna keep rolling over, huh?
Stop filled.
There it goes, rolling over to the downside. I'm gonna be 0 for 2 right now. No worries. Be happy. It's hilarious. Just kind of screwed myself on that one, but cheat happens. Yep. Just didn't get that run. It should possibly roll over to that now, to that overnight low. Just gonna keep watching it. It does have that momentum. Those red candles there. These guys are really ripping to the upside. So that's my only thought on this, not pushing down too hard, right? Like it's rejecting, possibly looking to take out stops. This is still pushing up. Still got the decent blue momentum. I don't want to chase it, but I looked for it to break above before I could even take it into consideration. Oh, pushed the wrong button. $25. Buy stop. Interesting. Don't worry. Be happy. Now, if it holds back above 21, it could still be long. It's like I said, this just looks like it could have been trying to take out some of those stops down below. Put a buy stop at 22. $22, $25. No, 22 is fine. If it rips above 22, maybe we could run it back up again. If it doesn't, then it looks like it possibly wants to short again still. It's still got that downside. Push it to the limit. Like I said earlier, obviously, got all this inventory down here, looking to clear it out. So possibly looking to get it all the way down to overnight low.
Stop filled.
Oh, now we're running back to the upside. This is my third trade. If I lose it, then I'm out. I'm done for the day. See what happens with it. Gotta focus on it though. Just trying to chase reversals here is super stupid. Win some, lose some. So now if we do break back above with this NASDAQ here, I'm going to leave this and try and run it up. Like if it does decide to try and catch up to the S&Ps and then the Dow Jones, which is up 150 points, At least on here it says. Do I know exactly? I haven't seen it. But if it does push up to the upside, I'm going to maybe look to enter if it gets above the VWAP again to a second entry, add to the position, try and catch it up to 140, 140, 150. But third shot's the last shot. It still has that downside momentum. I don't think that's going to change much. They know what they're doing here. Oh, here we go now. Just trying to stay in the game, you know. S&P looks like it wants to break above again. Could have been trailing this S&P up from, if we were taking the trades on the break of that overnight high with pullback, and then still just kind of trailing it up, trail those stops. But I kind of like to play the lagger, and I thought the NASDAQ was lagging today, so that's why I played that one. But I'm not really too concerned. Could use like a big green candle right now. It would be nice. Starting to peak above my little 25 level here, and then back down. So, yeah, it just doesn't want to hold it. These red candles are super strong compared to these green candles. Tickling my stop, and there we go. 3 for 3. We're out for the day. Tomorrow will better be a little bit smoother than today. I really just got whipped around a bit. So unfortunately, I did force in a couple before this little appointment that I got. So that's that. Not going to chase any more trades. I'll stay on for 4 more minutes just to see what happens with this chart. But I'm going to make sure everything is flat. Exit all positions and cancel. Okay, nothing working. So now there's nothing working. Kind of just got whipped around if we're going to analyze it a bit. My loss limit down 1,400. 3 losses. So net equity still down 1,000 now. Was up yesterday, 575. And I bet you this turns around and runs up because I'm done for the day. But who cares? Can't win every day. Buenos dias, Philip. Hello, Philip. I'm going to hop off in a minute, but just going to watch some of these charts. S&P would have been the play today. Instead, I got whipped around by NASDAQ. Can't see the screen. My computer's acting super slow. I do not like it. Yeah. 3 strikes, you're out. Done for the day for now. Not trying to get my loss limit, and $1,500 would have been my daily loss. I'm not going to even touch it. I don't want to trade more than 3 losses, especially early on in this funded trader account. I did all right yesterday, did shitty today, but I got to stick to my rules and get out. So could have made one more, but my rules say 3 strikes and you're done. No need to revenge trade. Just going to close it out for now. I do have to go over to the surgeon to check on my ankle, so I will do a review on some of these trades after I get back, just to, I mean, for anybody that didn't watch live, if you wanted to watch and check, it's not easy to see on here because I made those trades on my Top Step account. And losses suck, but I mean, technically my analysis on this was right. If it did break and hold below that previous day close, it was going to go to the downside. Unfortunately, I kept chasing a reversal for some reason, and because of the strength of that S&P and the divergence on all of these, I was looking to catch that reversal, and I just didn't listen to my analysis. So I will break that down after I get back from the surgeon, and we will see what else is up. And that would have been a perfect trade right down to that overnight low. And you win some, you lose some, right? You make do your analysis and stick to it. Don't let the other markets fake you out. That's the biggest thing. There it goes down to that overnight low. Like I expect to clear out that inventory. I mean, obviously looking at hindsight, is clearly a bearish trend here. Trying to catch a reversal was a bad idea. And you can see now we're just going to keep rolling over, probably down to that previous day low. Yeah. Opportunity was there, just didn't catch it. Looking at this ES. Pushing down below that all-time high again. Back to the previous day high. So technically, maybe it seems as if the real leader here was this NASDAQ showing that negative. So if you're looking to trade it, maybe look for that S&P to fade back down from those highs. For me, I'm done for the day, going to that surgeon up in Houston. It's going to take me a bit to get there, so until next time, I'm going to do a review of this trading day probably when I get home. If not, I'll see you live tomorrow, same time, around 8:20. I'll do my setup, and then I'll roll through. It's 9:20 Eastern, 8:20 Central, and hopefully we'll be able to get back those losses from today and maybe build back up into that positive range again. So, till tomorrow, peace. Mm-mm-mm.